Hey, my name is Jordan, and this video we're just going to talk about my pedal board. So my pedal board has actually changed a lot and will continue to change a lot. But currently what I'm doing is I have a patch bay right underneath where I go into my pedal board. Now my pedal board basically has two different sections. I run through basically all my drives and then go out of my pedal board into the Kemper. Now in the Kemper I have some different effects slots as well that change some different things, such as any modulation, any delays, any reverbs, or anything like that. So let me just show you a few settings that I have and a few pedals. First off, I have by Xotic USA, I have the SP compressor. This is really cool. One of my favorite features about this is that it has a blend knob, which is really good because I like to have some good compression on my guitar, but I still like to be able to have some dynamic range. Dynamic range becomes really important when I'm starting to play and be able to do something like this. So like this is an overdriven sound, but I'm able to then also be playing in a way that is quieter. And when I play quieter, my drives don't affect as much. So you can tell that as I dig in, I'm able to go and push my amp, push my overdrive pedals a little bit more and have a little bit more saturation. Now the second pedal on my chain is the Jackson Audio Prism. This thing is a beast. Now not only does it do all things like boost wise and be able to increase my gains, this is a clean right into the amp. You'll notice that it drives more. So not only does it have plenty of headroom to be able to push, it also has a little bit of an EQ. It has two features called tone and body. Now what's nice about this is I play a lot of different guitars. And when I play, I don't necessarily want to always have to tweak my settings on the amp or the Kemper. I don't really want to do that. I don't want to have to tweak all my pedals every time I do it because honestly I change which guitar I play very frequently. So this, at my fingertips, I can make my guitar sound a lot more bright or a lot more dark and have some more warmth to it. Let me show you. So if I crank this tone knob here, you'll notice already you hear a little bit of that hiss. But now I have this bright, jangly guitar. But I can also cut it, so say instead of using filtertron humbuckers like I am now, if I was using a single coil, I could then end up darkening my guitar sound to have it a little bit more warm. So you can see that that is really, really versatile. The other part about it is I can add a lot more bass to my guitar. Or I could cut it. Now for this particular guitar, I have my settings almost at noon, all the way across. It just gives a little bit more juice to the front end. I like that. The second thing on my chain is a fuzz pedal. Now fuzz pedals are not used too often, but when they're used, they're really, really fun. This one is the Octafuzz by Fulltone. I've had this for a long time, and I think it sounds really great. I love the way that it has almost a Velcro-like distortion. The way that it overloads is just fantastic. So I use this a lot in any harder rock sections of a song or anything like that. I play again with a lot of different types of bands, and so this is something that I like to have at my feet and at my disposal. So. Really, really heavy. Now, I don't typically combine that with anything else. That is just one thing, and that does itself because it's plenty. Next on my chain is the JHS Sweet Tea. You'll notice that I like JHS. But what I have on this is an older version of it. So this side of it on the right side is actually basically a tube screamer. The newer versions have the moonshine pedal in it, and that's really sweet. I would love to get that one day. But for now, this is what I have. and the other side has basically their Angry Charlie pedal. Now, these pedals combined sound really, really great. To be honest, I don't really like the way that a tube screamer sounds by itself. So most of the time, it does this really good thing of kind of creating a little bit more of a nasal sound to it. So I like it, but I like it typically when I push another pedal to change the characteristics of something that's already existing. This guy is all things high gain. So again, I can change the characteristics though by adding this. A lot of fun. Next, I have the JHS Super Bolt, and this is awesome. It sounds like a super amp that's blowing up, and I love that. Then I have the classic JHS Morning Glory. This is my go-to sound. I love the way that it rounds things out. It's very similar to like your blues drives or things like that, but I absolutely love it. It sounds really good. You'll notice that I don't really have it doing a whole lot. It basically compresses my sound a little bit, adds a little bit of overtones to my harmonics, and I think that sounds really fun. When I push it with something, however, it really comes alive. So again, with the tube screamer, it kind of makes it sound a little more angry. And I love that. I love the way that that sounds. It has a lot more oomph to it. Then it goes out to my Kemper. My Kemper basically has two settings. There's lots of videos on the way that the Kemper's effects are set up. But basically, what I tend to have on a normal setting is I have a pitch effect. So and that sounds really great on one note lines. So if I add a little bit of drive to that, let's try that again. That adds a really great sparkle on the top of it, and I love that. I typically have a chorus sound as well. This has kind of come back into fashion recently. You'll notice my chorus is pretty subtle, but I really like what it does. It adds some really good texture underneath. Then I have a delay setting that I have for, I almost always run with delay. Cool, that's my stereo delay. And then the last thing on my pedal board is this little guy here. And basically what I have is that is a boost that happens after everything. So that would mean that I have just clean headroom, and I'm able to get just a little bit louder in case I go into a guitar solo or a lead line that's really important for it to poke out of the mix. So again, that's my pedal board. What I like about using the hybrid setup for the Kemper is that I'm able to do a whole lot of things really quick. One of those, I have my settings pretty much laid out the same in every single thing, but what I do is I have different amps. So if I move down, I'm going to the Selah Sounds Kingsley, which is really, really fun. That's the Michael Britt divided by 13, and then Matchless by Tone Junkies. So I have a couple more settings on there, but all of them basically work the same way, but I love the flexibility of being able to change an amp on the fly, be able to do that. The Kemper is great because then I have the same settings every single time I show up. There's no mic displacement, nothing like that. It sounds great every time I play it. It has been really, really awesome. Well, thanks so much for watching. Hey, thanks so much for watching to the very end of the video. If there was something in this video that we didn't cover that you would love to know more about, Let us know down in the comments. And be sure to subscribe to us, like this video, so you can see more content that is like this.